Oh, I know. I need to press record. That would help, wouldn't it?
That would help.
Yeah. Are we episode 57? 57. 57.
I don't know.
57.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's 57. Right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hold on.
Hello. What?
Hold on. My connection's just gone a bit weird.
I can hear you fine.
2 seconds. Let me try and reconnect.
Okay.
Fuck's sake.
Droidgasm, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, sound fine,
Hello?
mate.
All right.
Right, I'm back now.
Okay.
Sorry. It does occasionally. I drop out occasionally. That was probably the worst time to drop out.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway.
You ready?
Yeah, man.
And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast episode 57 for Tuesday, the 2nd of February 2021. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag Pearson D, Steam ID, Webby360G, and joining me on this fine evening is...
Eyeing up some shares in game. Cinema Dan.
And a tired Sensei Switch.
Yay!
That's it.
Well, it's a Patreon. It's a Patreon show.
I know. Less of you guys seem to want to turn up for the Patreon shows.
Well, Peeps, he's gone on record that he doesn't even get paid either way. So I'm not sure what the problem is. I think his ego needs stroking a little bit. He wants everyone to hear his dulcet tones.
Yeah. Well, he needs to play more games than just Call of Duty as well.
Well, he saves them up, doesn't he? He saves all these Chivos up and just dumps them all on us.
Yeah. Well, Peeps got a bit upset with me this week because I'd been doing a little bit of Chivo whoring myself.
Okay.
And he was worried that I'm going to beat him on the monthly gamer score leaderboard.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I've beaten him or not because I never look at it. I just fancy doing a little bit of Chivo whoring, but I'll get to that a bit later. I've had a bit of an interesting week. So if you were listening to the show last week, I mentioned about my ankle and a trampoline and snow last Sunday. I kind of left it. Oh, man, it's been bloody sore. So I decided to go to the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, on Thursday, and got an X-ray, and I've got to wait till bloody tomorrow, Monday, to get the results of the X-ray. But the nurse had a look at it and reckons there's a very small fracture on my ankle.
Yeah, it's fucked, mate.
So they give me this lovely support to wear, so I look really cool wearing this support. And so that's that. It's just really weird because like when on the day it happened, it was just a lump, and then as the days went on during the week, my whole foot was just getting more bruised and bruised. I was like, this don't look right, and it was just getting more sore and sore and sore as the days were going. I was like, I've got to bloody do something about this. But I tell you what. This is a dip, right? So I rang. So my missus was like, "Ring 111." I was like, "All right, I'll ring 111." And they were fucking useless. They were just like, "Oh yeah, well you need to ring your doctors, make an appointment. They'll see you, and then decide if you need to go and have an X-ray." And I was like, "You ain't having a fucking laugh, man. It's taking ages. I just want to get it sorted." So anyway, my missus reminded me that I've got Bupa through work. I always forget that I've got that, and they got this app on your phone. So I booked an appointment. Guess how long it took me to get an appointment? A video appointment with a doctor. It took 10 minutes. 10 minutes it took to get a video appointment.
Outrageous.
Yeah, so, so within 10 minutes, I was having a video chat with a doctor, and he was like, "Yeah, don't look right, don't look very good." It's like, "Yeah, I know." And he said, you need to go straight to A&E, mate, and just see if it's been fractured because it looks not good. He said, "Why didn't you go on the day it happened?" I was just like, "Just don't want to go. COVID, blah blah blah." He's like, "You should have gone, but yeah. If they ask, just say you spoke to us and we told you to go down." And A&E were brilliant. It was bloody dead. It was like 3 people there, like 3 patients in all of A&E. So I got seen really, really quick actually in the hospital. I was in and out in a couple of hours. It was great. So that's my story for the week. Apart from the second part of the story.
Yeah.
Well, my missus has been really ill this week as well.
Yes. How is she?
She's actually feeling a little bit better this afternoon.
Good.
She's actually managed to get out of bed. So we thought she might have had COVID because she had all the symptoms. She'd not been out of bed for over 2 days. She's only, as I say, just managed to get out this afternoon, and I actually went and got a drive-through COVID test yesterday. You can't believe that's a thing. You drive to this car park, right, and they give you this kit, and you do all the swabs and all that in the car, and then you drop it off in a bag at the end. and then they text you the next day to say if you got COVID or not.
And she hasn't got COVID.
And she hasn't got COVID. Got the text
Good.
today. She hasn't got COVID.
That means she needs to be looked after, and you should you should leave her in bed and do all the housework and look after the kids.
Well, I've been looking after her. So the thing is, I'm going to be working from home all weekend. I had to book the weekend off as holiday, last minute holiday, just to bloody look after the kids and her. So I've
fine. It's fine. It's what a good husband does.
I've booked holiday. I've done more work on my holiday looking after everyone than I would have done sitting on my butt.
That's not work, for crying out loud. That's not fucking work. It's looking after your family, doing the responsible thing.
I tell you, but I've got like a fucked ankle. My boys had me on my feet all day, and my ankle is killing me now.
Well, just telling me it's just telling me it hurts, and then that's it.
Mate, you haven't got kids. You just
I know. I'm glad I haven't got kids. It sounds like a conveyor belt of fun.
Yeah. So my boy is now. He keeps on saying, "Dad, when are we going to go back on the trampoline again?" I'm not going back on it for a little while, mate. Yeah. So it's been my week. It's been one hell of a ride. So
excellent.
Yeah. News this week. So there's been a little bit of news actually, hasn't there, guys?
There's been a lot of news.
Yeah, I probably don't have it all written down, but one of the one thing that I did see, which was cool, which made me happy, MLB The Show. So obviously, everyone knows I'm a huge baseball guy, and Sony have had the license. Sony Santa Monica Studio have had the license for MLB, the official baseball license forever. And I haven't got the article in front of me. I'm just going from memory here. There was a thing a couple of years ago saying that Sony and Santa Monica are being forced to make the game multi-platform because it's apparently it's a monopoly. Bringing out a sports game.
There aren't really many other sort of competition when it comes to baseball games on consoles, really.
No. So today, I've seen it all over the internet. Box art of MLB The Show 21 for the Xbox. Oh, it's fucking
happy?
Yes. Well, apparently it's coming out on PC the same day as well. So I'm doubly happy because I don't have to leave the room and I can game up here.
You can play rounders on your computer in your room.
Yeah. So I'm really happy. I've seen. I did venture onto Twitter for a short amount of time today. And as I said, I'm trying to really limit it. Trying to really limit my social media time at the moment. So I went on and it was just full of Sony fanboys up in arms that their precious baseball game is going on to other platforms. So it gave me a little bit of a chuckle.
At least a year or so by now. So you'd think they'd realise.
Yeah. So I'm really happy because my PlayStation, to be honest, doesn't really get turned on much. So to be able to play MLB The Show on a different system would be nice. I didn't actually buy last year's game because COVID and didn't watch any baseball, to be honest, because it was shit with no crowds and that. So hoping it's better this year.
Good.
Yeah. Another piece of news. Oh, God's sake, I got the wrong thing there. Bit of Dougie for you. What was my other piece of news? Apologies. Oh, yes, Xbox Live. Xbox Live now has over 100 million monthly active users, which is a lot of people. And Game Pass has now reached 18 million subscribers. That's a lot of people. So, that's my piece of news. And the biggest piece of news this week, do you remember, I remember talking about this on the podcast years ago, there was that rumoured GoldenEye remake that had been made for Xbox Live on the Xbox 360, and then it got canned. Well, you can watch a full playthrough of that version of the game on YouTube, which is absolutely insane. So I watched a lot of it today, and man, I really wish that they'd brought this out on Xbox Live back in the day. That'd be so much fun. But there are rumours now, because this has been leaked, there's rumours circling the internet that this might actually see the light of day on the current generation of consoles. So, well, of Xbox consoles, anyway, because it's rare. So that would be cool. And I believe the reason it was canned before is because Nintendo own some of the licensing or something. You know what Nintendo are like. They're a bunch of arseholes when it comes to their
Yeah, it would have
stuff.
either been the James Bond license or because of the Nintendo thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just this just surfaced online out of nowhere, and it's just really cool to see the up-resed Nintendo 64 graphics. It's just quite interesting. And even in this video as well, at the end of the YouTube video, they showcase the multiplayer in action as well, which is pretty cool. So it was all there. It was all there, ready to rock and roll back in the day. And so I remember talking about it on the podcast back in, but yeah, I think when we launched it, like 2008, when I talked about it in 2009 or whatever as well, and 2021 it resurfaces. It's pretty nuts.
So we played this to death back in when I was a student.
Yeah.
You should get four joypads together in one room, a bit of gear,
Yeah.
tons of beers, and then play GoldenEye instead of studying for about 12 hours straight.
Oh yes, I loved playing GoldenEye. I mean, this was my youth. You know, when I was in secondary school, a bit younger than you, Dan. I was about 14, 15. I remember playing this. I had a hell of a lot with my mates. You know, it was back in the day when, you know, you and your friends used to go around each other's houses. You know, before the days of the internet, and you'd have to play 4-player on one system.
On one small telly.
Yes. But that's what the N64 was great for. You know, it had the 4 controller ports already on the front of it, and you can just whack the controllers in, unlike the PlayStation, which needed a multi-tap. But yeah, I just thought that's a cool piece of news, and a bit of a shocking one, really, to be honest.
Cool.
That's all the news I had written down. Is there anything extra that you guys want to talk about?
Can we just briefly, let me have a look, briefly mention what's happening with GameStop? I think it deserves a little bit of coverage.
I don't know why I didn't write this down. Yeah, this is something I've been talking to Colin about a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? Well, I've been laughing quite hard.
Well, I mean, I've seen it happen to a few other institutions as well. One of them, the cinema chains out there.
AMC.
Yeah, and a few other places as well. I think BlackBerry was one of them as well.
It's sent to AMC. AMC had about $60 million worth of debt, which has been wiped out because of this, or been eliminated because of their share price increase. It's insane.
Wow.
I mean, I was looking about it earlier, and currently, because it's closed for the weekends, it's on GameStop is on $325 a share.
Wow.
And at one point, it went up to $347. So at the moment, from what I can tell, despite all of the so-called market manipulations by like Robinhood shutting down sales and selling and so forth, I think I haven't really delved too deeply onto any kind of message boards, because to me that's like, whoa, that's a little bit too deep, because I'm like a gleeful bystander at this, and I intend to remain so. But it's
it's gone up a lot, isn't it, Dan? So I joined that Reddit message board because I just wanted to know what was going on. I was just reading and it's just quite interesting just seeing all the posts, and it's mainly just memes, to be honest, and people just doing stuff for a laugh, you know.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, they're basically saying don't sell, just keep holding it. Because the longer they hold it, because the hedge funds have to start paying back this money at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're still baffled by this, it took me a little while to get my head around it, but it's all to do with shorting. By that, you kind of borrow a share that you think is decreasing, and then you kind of sell it back, or you buy it back at a lower value, so you pocket the difference, which is a completely immoral way of running anything, because you have all these hedge funds that are looking to basically strip mine all of these business they deem not worthy. All these businesses they deem not worthy, like they're betting against their house. So they were betting against game, obviously with the insider knowledge of, well, the outsider knowledge, I guess, of that everyone's moving digitally now and trading of games is a thing of yesteryear. But
Yeah.
all these arseholes are accelerating the demise of these companies.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what I was thinking about it, Dan. I just think it because I didn't know anything about this shorting. I had no clue, and then obviously this news story broke, so I had Colin explain it to me, and also read up about it as well.
Mm.
And I just thought, when I was being told about what shorting is, I just thought that's really immoral. Like I don't
well,
understand how that's a thing.
it's kind of how the financial crash of 2008 happened.
Yeah,
If you want a good movie to watch this, that go on through it is The Big Short.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think it's out. I think you can see it on Netflix. Have a look. I'll have a look whilst we're talking.
yeah,
But
Great
the
cast as well.
The Big Short will do the
Um,
business for you because this is what happened in 2008 in a microcosm, in a different factor. This is
yeah.
the little guy fighting back against the hedge funds.
So, but the
Um,
thing I want to mention though, Dan, is
mhm.
one thing I think is quite what that I think a lot of people are quite happy about is this is like this the stock market is normally reserved for well off people that know what they're doing and they're working for these big companies or whatever, and this is kind of this is a story about people clubbing together and using people power to, well, one, they fucked over this
Um,
shorting company or whatever, and some people have made a lot of money from shares
I
going up as well.
I would take a step back and say that um, it's still very dangerous what they're doing in terms of own responsibility um, of financial income. So at some point this is going to crash. There's going to be lots of people left out of pocket, and it could be
Mm,
people who've invested into GameStop but I think that the crux of it is that all the people that bought small and the shares are massive right now.
yeah,
What have they got to lose? They
yeah,
literally
yeah,
bought in probably a few dollars a share.
yeah,
The percentages increased. So this is basically Sam sticking two fingers up. And
yeah,
along the ride, a lot of people have drawn along the coattails of this and made a lot of money.
yeah.
Um, you also have to bear in mind that the stock market of Wall Street will find ways of closing these loopholes and tighten up regulations. So,
Well,
um,
and this is the thing that I mean, you already saw, and that I think, I see it as very corrupt. All these
oh,
big
it is.
companies and these multimillionaires, and they're it's all what you know, well, it's all who you know, right? And you saw that this specific Reddit club or whatever the fuck you want to call it um managed to whoever it was managed to get Discord to shut their server down.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But
and
the
and
what?
Discord have said they shut down because of hate speech or something
yeah,
like
which
that.
is a load of bollocks because now they've come back and they've reinstated their Discord server.
Wow,
Yeah, yeah. So
wow.
this is the thing. I
Big
mean,
tech stepping in and stopping your average Joe from doing.
yeah, it's
I would
bollocks, mate.
never.
It's bollocks because what constitutes hate speech at the end of the day? They could have just they just fucking said that because I wanted to help their mates out at the end of the day. That's all it fucking is. It's wrong. It really is wrong. And I had a big smile on my face when all this news broke out because it's just I love seeing the little guy or the people claim back some power from these rich cunts, and I'm glad it's happened. That
Well,
hedge fund that lost billions of dollars, fuck them. They
Yeah,
got what they deserved at the end of the day.
because that
That's just
money's
my
not going.
opinion.
That money's not going back to any of us. It's not. It's
No,
literally being
no.
tied up, and it's basically what I mean. Wherever it does end up, I suppose to a degree, it would be tied up in other people's pensions and so forth. There's all this kind of underbelly
Mm.
going around I got money invested. You've got money invested.
Yeah,
Where does that money sit exactly? Who owns the pension pot?
yeah,
Who's dealing with it? And all these fuckers are dealing with it behind the scenes
yeah,
and doing risk on it. And all the profits they do cream off eventually. It'll all go in cocaine and boats anyway. So
yeah.
who cares? Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that story, Dan, I thought it was very interesting, and it just made me laugh because obviously people have different opinions on social media and that, and I just laugh because Elon, because even Elon Musk, who's the richest man in the world now, was just fucking like, yeah, go for it, guys, you know, and it was just making me laugh. But so yeah, it's been an interesting week, really. It'd be interesting to see what happens because, I mean, because it's very different in America to the UK.
Hmm.
To buy stocks and shares, I think there's more regulation here than in America.
I would say so. Over there,
Um,
it's
I
like it's
know a lot of
yeah.
senators and stuff did take notice, didn't they, when it was all sort of blowing up and
well,
like
well,
obviously
well, it
the
probably
app
affected a
people
load of
were
their
selling off
mates.
the stocks and stuff.
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
likely.
Well,
yeah.
no, I think they were kind of sticking up for the little guys, not
Mm,
necessarily like these big companies
mm.
to
Yeah.
a certain degree. I mean, it's the same with everything. If people group together, you have way more power than you think you have.
Yeah, yeah, and they don't like it.
At the end of the day,
Yeah,
if something comes out and you don't like it and everyone's like, right, I ain't fucking buying that, you know what I mean? Then
mm,
they're in the shit
yeah,
because they've obviously invested a load of money into something that people aren't interested
mm.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey ho, never mind, eh?
Yeah,
I think we'll just take a step back. I mean, if anyone's looking to get involved with this, with their own money, I'd say, whoa, hold on.
it was
in.
just
Yeah, I
like
don't
the
think this was a
You've missed the
fluke. I
boat.
think.
You have missed the
Yeah.
boat.
but because I saw that like the share price of GameStop was worth more than Apple and all these other massive companies. You know, it was just so funny. Yeah,
Well, it's what I wanted to touch upon at the end of this really is where
mm,
does this leave GameStop at the end of it all? Because it's massively inflated in value.
yeah,
It's got a business model that's failing.
mm.
Um, there's obviously cash coming to the business, but how do they manage themselves from now on? I've got a clue.
I don't know.
I
I don't
I,
know.
I really don't know. Do they take this and try to look to restructure or? But they're in a model because what's become more apparent these days is everything's online. No one goes to brick and mortar anymore. All the
People don't want to own
if
anything.
yeah, if you want to get a PS5, it's all on it's all on Bunfight online. I read earlier there's a news article. I think in Japan they tried to sell a load of PS5s in a shop,
Yes,
and
yeah,
they tried to do a lottery ticket system, but there was a mass crush for the fucking lottery tickets.
mm,
You can't win. It's just it kind of makes me sad to a degree because I remember the old school video game shops, where the local knowledge and you actually get half decent trading prices, and you weren't being shoved some kind of bullshit points
yeah.
loyalty scheme every single time you go in there, or being patronised
Well, I
by
fucking
some.
like this is the thing with game now, like Dan, because I've still got my original game reward card, and like the very time I used to go in there, probably over a couple of years ago, they would say, "Wow, like, I've never seen a card with this design before, whatever." But then every time I go in there, right, they try and sell you this fucking monthly fee or yearly fee. Oh, if you become a game premium member, you'll get more on your trade-ins. Man, it's like, what? I don't fucking give a shit
Yeah,
about that.
I don't want to be. And,
It's
as I
to
said,
try and get in. It's to try and get you back as a recurring customer. It's just
Yeah,
sort of like extra tactics to try and keep people coming back there. But to be honest, most people end up going to game for generally like a certain collector's edition that is exclusive to their store or whatever.
mhm,
Because
or
yeah,
we
the
all
yeah,
know that you will pay pretty much retail price for a product from game. Like
yeah.
you won't get a decent deal on a title there.
No, or if you're trading in, if you want to get the latest console and want to trade in your old one, or
that's the thing. I think back several years ago when I suppose video games were more scarce, they weren't as populous. I think the trading system was quite profitable for them because it was quite
yeah,
an easy turnaround.
yeah, yeah.
Because there was a lack of copies out there. But now you go into
Yeah,
any CX or game, whatever, you've got copies and copies and copies of FIFA cards,
yeah,
every single mass produced mass market game, because they have no real kind of quality control
yeah,
over the titles they take in, or if they do, it's like everyone jokes about being offered 10p 20p for a title you spent 40 quid on, but that's how they kind of discourage it. But at the end of the day, if you've got a copy of FIFA 2015 sitting about,
yeah,
you don't want it sitting about. Okay, I'll take 10p for it. Before you
yeah.
know it, the shop's got fucking 20 copies of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
The thing that makes me laugh, right? When you go to CEX, you look on their website, and it shows you the value of what they buy your
mm,
product for, and then what they sell it for. They sell it for double what they buy it from you
mm,
for.
yeah.
It's like
Well,
they
there's
must make a
overheads and
killing.
everything.
They must make a
There's,
killing on that. Yeah.
there's overheads, but at the
Oh, of
same time,
course. Yeah.
the problem with stores like that, you can't actually order your stock in. You're relying on the
Yeah.
patron to bring it in. So you try to create incentives for, um, your customer to part with their
Yeah.
games for.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. I mean, if you just spend 40 quid on the title, and you got people like Ubisoft, sorry, Peeps, but yeah, they fucks you on that one. Spend 50 quid on a game, and then before you know it, it's half the price. And you
Yeah.
go in and you go, oh, we'll give you 12 quid for it, mate. And I've had it for fucking 3 weeks. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
And this is the problem. It's a whole ecosystem that doesn't quite have. I mean, they've built their hard bricks and mortar,
Yeah.
and their business model of this whole trading model, and it's eroding away underneath their feet, and they
Yeah.
don't help themselves at all. They don't
No.
help themselves, and then you've
They,
got this acceleration of digital.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
Darren, you were
What I
going to
have
say something
noticed.
there.
Go on, Darren.
yeah, no, I was just about to say, I mean, there was a point when you could actually, they were doing reasonably good deals. So say a game came out, 2 weeks later a new game came out, and they'll be like, right, if you trade in this game that came out, like say 2 weeks ago, you can get this other new game for 10 quid or something,
Yeah. Yeah. They're starting
kind
to
of
stop
thing.
doing
So it
that
was
now, aren't they?
almost like, yeah, they obviously don't do it obviously anymore. But I'd always see adverts for like that, like trade in one of these titles and pick this
Mm,
up for like 10, 15 quid or something, and that was a pretty good deal then,
yeah.
Well,
because
what I have
you'd have it for like
noticed,
2 weeks.
what I have noticed at game though, last time I went in there, they're relying a lot on merchandise as well now. You
Oh,
know,
pops and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, mainly pops,
So
but like hats and
there's
t-shirts and
there's only
plushies and
so
that.
many fucking Funko Pops someone can own. That's all
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
say. Yeah, that market is reaching saturation point.
I can
Uh,
imagine.
and it's there's only, I mean, I hate to say it, mate, and I know you guys love your gaming t-shirts, but I look at some of these gaming t-shirts, especially the one from what's that company called? Coin.
Oh,
I've forgotten what they're
insert
called.
coin.
Insert
Insight
coin.
Coins.
Yeah, they're not very good quality. I had a
They're
few of
not.
those many years ago.
They're not. I look at the
They,
designs,
yeah.
and they're fucking awful. Sorry,
Well,
Insert
funnily
Coin.
enough, with
Sorry,
insert
but
coin, about 10, 15 years ago, the
yeah,
quality of their t-shirts used to be decent, and
yeah.
then I would say after
10,
about 5
15 years
years
ago, a
of
lot of things
yeah,
used to be decent,
and
mate.
then
I
yeah,
got a feeling. Hopefully, you don't
yeah,
hear this. We're
so
not going to get
after
sent
about
any free t-shirts, are we?
so after about 5 years, I bought another t-shirt from them, and it was fucking god awful.
Hmm.
So I don't bother buying them anymore. I don't
Well,
buy
even
from
so,
them.
it's only. I mean, I think. Let's be honest. I mean, most kids, most teenagers grow out that kind of wear by the time
No,
they've
no.
left
I mean,
home.
I'm wearing my Nintendo t-shirt right now. Right? Who wants to play video games? Come on, yeah,
I've got a Beastie Boys t-shirt on, mate. I
yeah,
haven't grown up at all, but I'm cooler than you.
yeah. But I'll tell you what. Like, I do recommend T Fury. Now they're an American t-shirt company. Well, and
Oh,
this
here
is
we
where
go.
I buy all my gaming t-shirts from, TT Fury. But don't buy more than 2 t-shirts because you'll get fucked for customs duty. Just pre-warning, yeah. But they're like $20 a t-shirt, and the shipping to the UK is like it's fuck all really. It's pretty decent. So
Okay, there you go.
that's my
Top tips.
recommendation. I've
Top
got
tips.
loads of t-shirts from there. It's
So,
fucking
so,
brilliant.
so,
So
it's insert coins. Prove us wrong with your latest designs. Get in contact. I'll
oh, they
take an
suck
extra large,
balls.
please. No, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. And if they're really good, we'll give you a big shout out. How's that? I don't get
Because
any fucking free. I don't get any freebies of this podcast.
well, I
So
don't either.
let's try and get some.
I'm
Fruit
too
of the
busy, mate. I
loom.
can't be fucked. I don't like to be a shill.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So yeah, what was I going to say? That website is really, really good. That's it. Yeah.
Good.
But what I was looking for today, though, Dan, I don't know if you can help me with this.
Mm.
Obviously, I like my baseball caps.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of a. I'm getting my missus bloody sore throat at the minute. I'm trying to find decent gaming baseball caps, with like I don't know, like a Dreamcast logo on or something like that. But I can't fucking find any. I can't at all.
Insert coins. Have you tried that?
No. Fuck off.
I have been. I bought a couple of items. I bought some bits and bobs. I've had a look on the Sega shop. Have you checked the Sega UK shop?
Yes, I actually went on there today to see what they had, and they had some hats on there, but they looked shit.
They look shit. Well, I can't help you there because I don't know what looks like a good baseball cap. I don't know.
Yeah, so I've got too many caps as it is, but I just wanted to.
Basically, you got some money to burn, haven't you?
No, I don't actually. I don't, and not until my missus goes back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I was just thinking because of my birthday next week, so I was just thinking of birthday presents for myself. That's all. Yeah.
Very good.
I was thinking of. I have been pondering whether to buy myself a Series X for my birthday.
Yeah, and what does Leon say about that?
She's just brandishing a knife.
She wouldn't really give a shit, to be honest. But we did have a conversation about it, and it was just like, "Do you ever play your Xbox?" Really, so I was like, "No, not really." So is there much point? I was like, "Well, don't know really. I can play Monster Hunter and better graphics on the console."
Yeah,
that's about it, really. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I almost I had a PlayStation 5 again in a fucking basket this week twice,
and it didn't happen.
It didn't happen because as soon as I put my email in, my address in, payment, chucked me straight out.
Why didn't you so this is a top tip, right? Try and find as many these shopping sites as possible and just creating a fucking account.
So well, I did that. Stuff's already I'd done that already. I was on the case, mate. I had autofill on my iPhone and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the problem. You're using an iPhone, mate.
Because I'm using an iPhone. You don't go all fucking Android master race. No, mate.
Use your computer. Like, if you want to buy shit on a website, use a computer.
You try to do that, mate. I got an alert on my Apple Watch. Oh, Apple Watch. Right, okay. Immediately pick up my phone. I was literally there in 5 seconds. Boom, boom. I'm in. I'm in. To be fair enough, I did go and say 8 o'clock in the morning. I was doing this half blind because I just woken up. So it was a nerve-wracking, minute or so trying to get all that sorted out of stock. So what I've learned, because I had UK Hot Deals, not Hot Deals. What was it? Hot Stock, the app. Which, if you just use the freemium version, they alert you 3 minutes after stock going on sale, as opposed to their premium members. Cheeky fuckers. And it costs $4.99 a month to be a premium member. Fuck off. So I got a tip. I'm not sure it was on the Facebook group, but I've downloaded PS5 Stocks Plus for $1.99. Was it on the Facebook? It was on Twitter, I think.
Yeah.
So it cost me $1.99, and so far I've opened it up. You can log into various countries to see stock going in live, and it literally updates stock or do checks every minute or so.
Yeah,
because I'm watching it right now, and it's literally checking, and I can see all the checks coming through, and then all the push notifications come through. So boom, as soon as they go on sale, hopefully I will be in there.
Ding dong.
I'll let you know how I get on.
Yeah, that's how you get on, man.
Well, the rumor is that Amazon have got a big drop, a massive dump of PS5s this coming week.
Ooh,
massive dump.
I know. Sly's managed to get a PS5. It seems like other countries are getting more shipments than the UK. And he's enjoying.
Australia had theirs first, anyway, didn't they? As well.
And he's enjoying some Demon Souls. He's being a noob with it, apparently. Well, I don't even know what other exclusives there are. Spider-Man, that's about it, isn't it?
Spider-Man, that's about it.
Yeah.
There's a PS Plus game. That game was supposed to be out on launch. No, it's another one. The Demolition All Stars, or what you call it. I don't know what it was.
Oh, there was another one. Yeah, it's been delayed, isn't it? Yeah, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember.
Doesn't matter. We can't fucking play it. Darren can play it, but I can't fucking play it, so I don't care.
True.
So yeah.
Is that all the news anyway? Is that all the news?
I did have one more thing written down. It's not
Yep.
particularly interesting. It might make you giggle. I know you probably won't give a shit if I can find it. Where was it? Ninja Theory shutting down development on Bleeding Edge.
Okay.
So that game is still still play it online, but they're not adding to it. Basically, it came out in March last year, I think.
Never
And
played it.
I think I was reading it. The most concurrent players they had online was about 480. So
Wow.
it is
Wow.
dead
Wow.
on arrival. Dead.
I just don't know who was kind of after like a Overwatch hero sort of like melee fighting game thing.
I know. No one.
Oh my god! I mean, I'll just put a video. It looks god awful. Oh, I did play this. This was on Xbox, wasn't it?
I remember you slagging it off. I mean, I
It was
downloaded
their
it.
first release after basically Microsoft acquired them as a studio.
Oh yeah, it came out as part of Game Pass, I think, wasn't it? Or just
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember having one game in this, and it was god awful, and then I deleted it. Yeah.
Well, you can still play it, I think, but the good luck getting the game.
That's
on
probably
it.
why I
But
forgot to play it, because it's fucking. I want to remove it from my brain.
Well, this is the problem with games like this. That if you need a regular player base for it, and you're charging money, good luck getting an audience.
Yeah.
Because without a single player campaign, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I was trying to be like
God, it does.
Overwatch, but
It does look like shit. Does
yeah,
it looks like a PS3 game.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far. It did look reasonable when it came out. It just
PS2,
didn't
mate.
interest me.
About? Yeah. Okay, shall we get into what we've been playing then? If we done all our news, Dan, what have you been playing this week?
A shitload of fighting games.
Oh yeah, because I'll let you talk about that. Yeah. I saw you got a new toy this week.
I got a new toy for my PS4. You probably heard that I've decided to soup up my PS4 Slim in the absence of a PS5. So I kind of figured that all the games I would have played anyway on a PS5 would have been all games you can play pretty much on the Nintendo Switch anyway. So I bought myself a Hori Fighting Stick Mini, which when you look at the picture of it online, you think, oh, that looks all right. And then when you get it, you think, fucking hell, it's tiny.
She said,
Yay! I know, it's almost as big as my hand. So I have to use a book on my lap to keep it steady. So it's all right, actually. It's the joystick's micro switched. The buttons aren't. You've got 8 buttons, 4 top, 4 bottom. You can play it on. You can flick a switch and play it on. I think you play it on PC and PS3 as well, like most standard stuff. It's all USB. £35, bargain.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you already have some other fight sticks?
Yeah, I have one for the Switch. I have a
Does it not
Hori.
work? Does it not work with your PlayStation then on wide mode or anything?
No, it doesn't. But if I've been honest, I haven't tried, but I don't think it does.
That'd be really funny if it works.
But the thing is, it's ridiculously large. It's huge. Seriously, you can eat a 3-course dinner off it.
Nice.
My Mad Catz one is pretty beastly.
It's insane because you kind of, I don't know. I've had to retire it to my bedroom out of the way because it was just taking too much room up in the living room. This little one just sits underneath the telly quite nicely, and it just blends into the cabinet, so you don't really notice it. And not that I kind of have an issue in my room. My room seriously is just a load of wires everywhere and games and fucking DVD cases everywhere. But it's great. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 5 on it. Got stuck into that last couple of nights, playing the survival mode mainly, trying to go for some more trophies on it. So I've got about 32 matches survival into the hard mode. I took, and I think I've got to get to 40. So I'm going to go back and get some more power ups and bits and bobs to help me through that. So that's my next task, and be playing a lot of Street Fighter Collection. So I spent most of last night, Jesus Christ, playing the original vanilla version of Street Fighter 2. and flipping it, that game. It's because it's the arcade conversion of it. You can see how bitter and twisted and fucking rubber banding it is. It's still, you know, a great game, but it's just if you're playing against the computer. I mean, I had to stick it on easy, and I've had to save the game on Bison because I literally went through must have been about 25 different continues just to keep playing it. It kept on kicking my ass.
Wow.
It was cheating its ass off.
Well, back then you used to I noticed with games such as Art of Fighting 2, when I was going through that when I had the Neo Geo back in the day, because obviously I owned it, so and it cost me a lot of money, so I was just rinsing that every day in, day out, day in, and you learn how to ease the computer because it's obviously set a certain way, so you know, right, sweep the leg, throw, and as soon as he throws, if I do my super fireball move, he can block it as soon as he gets up. As soon as he gets up again, hit him again with it. So there were just certain ways, you could always sort of cheese your way through certain fights. And they kind of work more like that because also you had limited combos and limited movesets and
of course
back then as well.
And it wanted your money as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, arcade perfect gameplay, says Literally just put up. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I mean, arcade perfect, more like give me your money. I did play the other game I played on it is Street Fighter 3 Third Impact, I think it is, which is the Strike. Yeah.
Oh,
the last one of the Street Fighter 3s. It's just great. It's fluid. It's nice. It's actually.
It's still got some of the best looking sprite
work.
Of
course. Fantastic.
In the game. It's the animations and stuff on it. I remember when it first came out, and obviously you see when you're doing the hurricane kick, and it just absolutely slaps the character.
Yeah.
You see their heads really whipping back with each hit.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
great. I mean, I got it for $12.99 on disc. Well worth the money. And it's got online mode as well, which I daren't actually go online and play because I'll get my arse handed to me. I just know I will. So I'll just play against the computer. But yeah, it's all good. What else have I played? Soul Calibur 6. That was good. Got stuck into that. More Tekken 7. I'm up to. What rank am I up to on that? Master Brawler. I'm well into the Dans. Don't worry about that. I am got to the point where it's getting really, really tough. Dead or Alive 6. That's good.
Oh yeah, a bit of booby bouncing.
Yeah, a lot of booby bouncing in that. But the combat system in it is great. Actually, it's really, really solid. Lots of reversals,
that's one of Darren's favourites, Dead or Alive.
It's because of all of the fact of the reversals and all that kind of stuff as well. It's just different. And not. I don't really know any other fighting games that have that.
No, it's all to do. It's lot to do with parries and reversals and grabs and stuff. And it's not a fireball in sight.
It's not a fighting game without a fireball. Come on, you need Hadoukens.
No, not all the time. Not all the time, but it's got a nice. It's got a nice fight into it. I mean, anyone can pick up and look like a badass on it, but it's very hard to master.
Is this the one with Eddie Gordo? Is that no? It's Tekken, isn't it?
Tekken, yeah. That's Tekken, yeah.
But yeah, you've got some good wrestling characters in it as well for once, where they're not just cumbersome, lumbering people. Like Tina is obviously quite nimble for obviously a grapple character.
Yeah.
And also it has combo grapples where you can do multiple grapples in a chain and stuff.
Well worth. I mean, it cost me a tenner on the PS4, so worth picking up. But then again, you can spend hundreds of pounds on little weird costumes for them if you like dressing up fighting characters like some fucking weirdo. Which I always it's fine buying costumes, but when you're charging that amount of money for it, geez.
I think I read somewhere I remember reading somewhere a while ago. Who makes the Dead or Alive games? Is it Namco?
No, it's
Team Ninja.
Team Ninja. No, it's Temco, isn't it?
No, sorry. No, it's not
Temco.
Team Ninja.
It's
It's
Temco.
yeah. There's a no. It's Team Ninja. Yeah,
Team
but it's
Ninja.
it's published by them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
So
Team Ninja.
apparently
bring it on with the other lot.
there's loads of Dead or Alive porn on the internet, and
Why is that? Why am I not surprised?
No, I know, but apparently the team that own the Dead or Alive games there was a lawsuit or something going on to try and get it removed off the internet or something. That's what was pretty.
Well, that's what
Interesting.
happens when you stick something on a platform where they can mod it. Though, like, there's nude mods for Street Fighter 4 and everything, or Street Fighter 5. Like every fighting game that's on PC, there's nude mods for them.
Well, funnily enough, on the news this week, which I didn't put in, but I'm going to mention it now because it's kind of a segue. Horizon Zero Dawn, there's a nude mod.
Why do people do this?
I don't know.
It's just fucking weird.
Sad. It's sad.
It's just like, why? Oh my lord! It's like new. I mean, this is a whole kind of sub-unculture that I know nothing about, and I'm only like, fucking hell. There's nude mods for fucking Street Fighter. Fucking hell.
Oh, it's fucking mental. Peebs is watching us, and he says that Mortal Kombat is the best fighting game. End of.
I was thinking of getting Mortal Kombat 11. I was having a look. Maybe
It's not that great. The latest one, I don't think.
No, I mean I do have Mortal Kombat.
Keep putting in stupid characters as well, like that. Just like
they put in Rambo, didn't they?
Fucking
Terminator.
Yeah.
Predator. The older
I think they've had Alien as well and stuff.
Yeah. I like the old ones, but the new ones just a bit. I've got
Micro's. No, it's not Micro. I've got Mortal Kombat XL, which is Mortal Kombat, the last one they had, and I've installed that onto my PlayStation, but I haven't really played it yet. So I might have a look. And then again, I'm not holding out that it's going to be any good, but we'll have to wait and see. But
11 was decent. Like the fighting systems in it, I still find Western fighting games a little bit cumbersome in comparison to the Japanese counterparts. They're just not as fluid.
They're stuck in certain. It's. I mean, if you were to play any like Eastern or Japanese fighting game, it's almost like a rock scissors paper kind of game where certain characters can exploit other characters' kind of cheese moves and so forth. So if you know what I mean, yeah. And nothing really is. Although there are similarities between some of the characters, they have evolved to be distinct. But I think I said this on previous week. If you look at something like Mortal Kombat, everything starts with a fucking uppercut or a sweep leg, and then a couple of other cheese moves here and there, and it's just nah, mate. It's all too samey for my liking. But I will give it another go, and I'll tell you how shit it is. How's that?
It's all about the fatalities, mate. That's what it's about.
But if you're shit in the first place, you're not going to get around to be able to do any fatalities. So what's the point?
You just do a load of cheese moves with Scorpion or Sub-Zero. Job done.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. And those are the fighting games, really. The other things, really, I've found out that I've put over 20 hours into Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 since getting it about 2-3 weeks ago.
Wow.
I've almost finished the adventure mode. I'm on about 97% completion. And as I was saying, it's tricky to play because in any kind of duration, because as soon as you beat one level, the difficulty spikes the next. So you have to log off and come back a few hours later. You can't just switch it back on and come back in again because it remembers. And for some reason, it tones down the difficulty straight away, and then you cheat it, and then it ramps up again. So I've been doing that in piecemeal. It's actually the difficulty levels on it are it's stupid, but it is what it is. So I'm just finishing that off at the moment. I've unlocked all the characters. I think I've pretty much unlocked all the levels now, and I'm just learning slowly but surely. Just try and get better at the game. It's that kind of puzzle game which forces you to get better, and that's what I've been doing to myself, like a Russian bear in a zoo banging his head against the wall. That's what I've been doing on it.
It is mad that the way that obviously Tetris and Puyo Puyo, and even to a certain degree, but not so much Columns, they kind of stuck out of all of the puzzle games that kind of came out around that time. Like those were the ones that actually served the test of time. I remember one that came out, I think it was on the Sega Saturn, that I actually thought was quite fun. Was it Baku Animal?
I have no idea.
Where you had to line up these vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, and then when you'd line them up, like a head of a rabbit had come along and eat all the carrots in a line, and then everything had cascade down.
sounds weird.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so it's a similar kind of thing, but obviously with its own little twist.
Yeah. Well, yeah. As I said, I'm a sucker for a good puzzle game.
And Tetris Battle Gaiden as well. I loved on the Super Nintendo.
I never played that. What's that? So was that regular Tetris, but kind of competitive?
Yeah, it was just a competitive, like split screen, you against the AI, and you chose characters, and they did little funny animations when you'd get like 4 in a rows and stuff like that. And
okay.
Things, and each character had like kind of a bonus, like you were certain to get like every now and again a certain brick that you might want or something if you played as certain characters and things.
Cool.
Again, little twists on the old tried and tested formula.
Nice.
And then 2 more titles. Donut County. Played it last week after the podcast. I didn't get the full 1000G. I couldn't be fucked.
Oh, come on.
I did finish it. It's
what did you need to do to get the 1000 then?
Oh, it's easy,
go
mate.
on YouTube and waste your time.
It took me like hardly any time at all to get the 1000.
I know. Maybe I might go back to it and milk the rest of that. But it's a nice little charming title. It's over in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's not game of the year, but it's a nice little way to spend a couple of hours, I guess.
Yeah.
And the last thing they'll play 2 last things, I suppose. One of them was quite good. The other one was pretty shit. What was it? What was it called? Mother Truckers? Or no, truck. No, was it called Mother Truckers? What's it called? I fucking lost it. I can't remember what it's called. It's a truck game. I forget what it's called. I did write it down, but
is it the one you jump on top of the trucks as they're driving along?
Yeah, that's the one. What's it called?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I know what it is because I've played
Piece
it.
of shit.
All right, just move on then.
And the other one was Cyber Shadow, which I actually quite like at the moment. I played it for a little while earlier, and it's like an old school NES title, but it's even down to the graphics and the score to a degree. But it's got that kind of modern day gaming engine behind it, and it's all pretty basic as you start out. But as I said, it's getting interesting now, and it's hard as nails. It is. It's on. I think you've got unlimited lives. Yeah, you've got checkpoints you can restart from, but if you look through some of the Chivos, Peeves will not be happy. Like 16 gamer score for most of them. 16.
Yeah, it's annoying. That is.
I wouldn't say it was annoying.
I'm out.
Yeah, because if you look at some of the percentages behind that people have achieved, it's like 0.5% of players have achieved this, and it's like, I mean, the easiest Chivo to get is about 8% or something dumb like that. So Peeps, good luck with that one. But it's all right. It's fine. It's a nice little fun game. It's old school 8-bit gameplay in the Castlevania or Metrovania kind of category, which I quite enjoy.
Did you play this on Game Pass, or you playing it on another?
Played it on Game Pass. I wanted to see what it's like first.
Okay.
I don't think it's about 18 quid on Switch, and I thought, well, it's a bit steep. So I'll play it on Game Pass. And see how
I played it a little bit as well, Dan. I think it's really, really good, but I've not played it. I only played literally about half an hour or so just to see what it's like, and the first impressions are really good.
Yeah, it's going to take it's going to be. I think a lot of people getting obsessed by this game. I think pretty much, and there'll be like people doing it in one life, no kills, that kind of thing. Yeah, it encourages replayability, judging by the Chivos on it, but.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't got the skills to bother and persevere with that, so fuck it.
Good
luck if you can.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That's it.
Cool.
Done.
What about you, Darren?
Not a lot.
That's fair enough.
As per usual. Yeah. I'll start by obviously mentioning a couple of demos I played this week. So the first one was Phoenix Rising, is it? Is that how it's pronounced? I think so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I saw the demo for this on, I think it was like Japanese PSN, and then it finally arrived on sort of everything else about 2 or 3 days later. So I thought I'll download it and see what it's like and everything, because it has dropped quite a bit in price. Like, I keep seeing it for
Well,
like
it
30
is a
odd quid
Ubisoft
here and
game.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't really seen AC Valhalla take that sort of price dip as
Yeah.
per yet. But where I've got things like Valhalla and Cyberpunk and all that still on the go, and I did pick up Atelier Riser 2 this week as well, which came out. I don't really have time to put into something else like that, but it is another game that I thought I'd try out, because I probably might pick it up further down the line if there's another drought or whatever, when it's like still around a decent price.
And
Okay.
It
any
seems
guess?
all right. It seems all right.
It's like a Breath of the Wild clone, isn't it?
Kind of,
is,
yeah. It's
yeah.
sort of open worldy, sort of like you're jumping around islands and gliding around on your wings and
You can climb any
fighting
surface and
things.
it uses stamina.
Sounds
Like,
it sounds
Yeah.
like Breath of the Wild to me.
it has dungeons like Breath of the Wild with puzzles.
You open
And
chests and you get items out of them.
see, I'd rather play Breath of the
But
Wild
there's
again.
like a weird sort of storyline that's sort of kind of tongue in cheek, of like the gods retelling a sort of ancient tale and basically changing everything around because
It
he's
sounds
getting it
like
wrong,
Breath of the Wild to
kind
me.
of thing. But yeah, it's decent. It was good enough. I think it was just one of those games that kind of again got slightly overshadowed by obviously Valhalla, the hype for Cyberpunk, the usual FIFA and COD crowd.
Yeah.
So you get certain people that already know what they're getting around that time of the year. I think this is a kind of game that would have done better if it was released around sort of summertime,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like around a drought period when there's not really as many of those type of games out. But if you're after something that's kind of slightly Assassin's Creed, or like you say, Breath of the Wildish, and you've got like younger kids, this is going to be pretty good for them, because you're not like hacking limbs off of people and
Yeah.
fettling
Yeah, it's got
around
that
in
nice
guts
art
and
style
blood
to
and
it as well,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice cartoony art style.
Nice. I might have a look at it. As I said, it's got that kind of lack of originality kind of seal about it to me,
Yeah.
in my eyes. So I need to be convinced. So I'll have a look at the demo when I get a moment and see what I think. But at the moment, it's got a lot of work to do in my eyes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What about you, Darren? Anything else you want to say on it?
No, not particularly that I'd
Okay.
sort of played it. I'm sorry, I've got someone asking me to do a dungeon in our FC.
For fuck's sake, Darren.
And I'm trying to reply to
So Darren's also been playing Final Fantasy 14 this week, in case you
Yeah.
hadn't realised.
Yeah.
I also resubbed this week because there's some new story content which I've been
Cool.
slowly going through, so I'm back into it and enjoying it again. That's all I'm going to say.
Nice.
Yeah. I just fancied something. Sometimes when you want to just have something that's kind of like your comfort blanket, something that you can just go back to, and you're going to just enjoy. We've all got those comfort blanket games, and 14 is that for me.
Nice.
Darren, you finished the dungeon yet?
No, I'm not in a dungeon. They were just asking me if I could run them through a dungeon. They wanted me to tank a dungeon for them, and I was like, I'm trying to explain that I'm recording and
Tell them to fuck off.
No, I'm just about to say, if you need some help, just give us a shout.
Have you
Behind the
played anything
wall.
else? Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. Obviously, I'm not really going to mention too much about that. There's a new patch coming out on Tuesday. So I think that's going to add the next stage of the relic weapon and some other stuff for the Basildon Battlefront, whatever it is, or
Yeah.
thingy that's tied in with that, which I've not really don't really like it, to be honest. It's basically Eureka, which I thought was a bag of shite, and like some of the worst content ever. Black Desert Fortnite, which is just constantly, that game keeps branching out with all these different weird and wonderful characters. Because obviously you had the recent one, didn't you? And they've had like Kratos in it, Halo Master Chief, and like Walking Dead's been in it, and this week like Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, or I can't even remember what we called it here. Was it Action Force?
Action Man. Wasn't it Action Fun? Action?
No, Action Man was a separate thing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Action
I had
Force.
Action Man with Eagle Eyes.
It was Action Force, yeah.
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 But
Okay.
yeah, in America it's G.I. Joe, and that.
Okay.
So yeah, Snake Eyes is.
I can't believe it's still going. I mean, it's going to get saturation point at some point soon. I mean, unless they do Fortnite 2, I guess.
I can't believe.
Well,
I can't believe Darren still plays it every bloody day.
Well, yeah, I'll just run through it with Goose because it's good to have something to play while we're waiting for something, and it likes his shooters, and it's a reasonably fun shooter at times, unless you're in party chat listening to me play it, and you wouldn't think I'm having any fun at all. But anger release is still some sort of form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoy listening to you shouting.
Cool.
Oh, what else? Oh, Valhalla. I've put about another 20, 25 hours in this week.
Bloody hell! Don't you ever going to finish that game?
I'm
thinking about it.
Kind of coming into the endish part, I think. Although I might not be. So something happened. Someone is somewhere, and we're off to someone back. And I'm currently doing the mission in that area to try and get that person back, with help of people that I have helped in other areas of the game currently.
He's very vague, isn't he?
Oh no!
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be.
I know.
Completely spoiling it. Yeah, but I've still got
I've got a clue, mate.
Yeah, I've still got about 6 areas on the map left to do.
You've got ages, mate.
Yeah, I'm power level 356 currently.
Wow. Okay.
I think 400 is the cap. I think that's when you've maxed out all your skills, and then after that, it's your mastery stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm still really enjoying the game. Although there are a couple of areas in the game which kind of piss me off, where it's like, escort this character to this location, but they can't climb over walls or do anything that you can fricking well do. So you end up having to run around and kill tons of people just to create a path for this person to get there.
Yeah, I hate that shit in games.
When it's just like, climb up this wall, please, it's just here. We don't have to kill or attack anyone. If you just climb up this wall, look, a 5-year-old child could climb up this wall. Come on. It's just like, nope. So yeah, the amount of pointless deaths I've had in that as well. And I have started to a certain degree where there's certain forts and stuff. I now just walk in the middle of it and just go, fucking bring it. You know what I mean? Because I'm sick of slithering about for God knows how long to try and get to everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's just part and parcel of where I've been playing it for too long that day, where I kind of chuck all the tactics and the usual stuff, and I just want to just get this done, just get the thing, get the treasure, get the fuck out, kind of thing. But yeah, still really enjoying that. Cyberpunk had another patch this week, but I still haven't played it. So it's had 2 concurrent patches that have come out. I think it was 1.10 and now 1.11. Which is supposed to fix certain issues, but I think 1.10 created a few issues that the newer patch has kind of fixed. Now, I watched the Digital Foundry video on the original 1.10, and apparently if you're playing on the base consoles, PS4 sees a slight increase in performance, and Xbox One doesn't really. It's pretty much the same. but
Okay.
the images have been slightly cleaned up, so there's less of a sort of like Vaseline look to everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So the image is slightly sharper, but they didn't really go into one about how that translates onto the PS5 or Xbox Series X or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Cool.
But the other thing I did try out this week was Fuser.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
Oh
this.
yeah, I think Clarky wants to know about. Oh no, he think. Oh no, ignore me. Go on.
So yeah, so this is the game that's by the Rock Band people, where you basically you're a DJ and you're mixing records. Now, initially, I thought DJ is this going to be like DJ Hero because I've loved DJ Hero back in the day. It was fantastic. But no, this kind of takes it in a different direction, and it's kind of cool. So at the start of a level, obviously you don't get to choose it because it was the demo, so you're just given set records.
Yeah.
So you'll basically go on stage for a set period of time and you choose the records that will go in your records crate up the top of the screen.
Right.
Now, I think it's up to about 8. And you'll have 4 decks down the bottom, so you can basically have 4 different separate tracks going at once. So different buttons on the face of the controller. So we'll say like we'll use the Xbox for an example. So like say your X button is the beat of each different song.
Okay, got you.
B button is vocals. And the A and Y buttons alternate between like your melodies and your instruments. So you can play select parts of each song and then mix
Sounds
them
weird.
together.
I've got you now.
Yeah, I think you'll quite like it, Dan. To be
Okay.
honest,
I'm looking
if
at
you
some of the
like
titles
sort of-
here. Fucking around
like
and stuff.
they keep adding sort of like weird and wonderful songs to it. I mean, they had "Killing in the Name." I think was one of the ones you had in the demo alongside might be Smash Mouth. Warren G Regulate was in there. And a few other sort of more modernist songs that I've never heard because I haven't listened to the radio for years. Just don't care. To be
That's fair
honest.
enough.
And looking at the video, I mean, you literally your DJ bloke is a right prick by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, the presentation's reasonably good, but it's very colourful and cheerful
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like they sort of went for.
Not
But,
like
yeah,
any, not like any of the raves I've been to.
Yeah. So there is your typical 4-beat sort of system in it that if anyone's into music, you'll know things going bars or 4 beats
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and that's where you get tempos from and all that kind of stuff when it's all ramped up. So you can drop different individual tracks on the beat to get like perfect drop bonuses as well. You can also select a record and drag it and drop it onto another one of your decks. If say you want 2 of the same beats, sort of a thing, like you want 2 beats from 2 different tracks rather than just having one individual thing from each, you can completely sort of muck about with it quite a bit. You'll also have people giving you requests where they might be like, I want to hear a bit of this song, and you can drop it in and you'll get like a score multiplier. Or someone will be like, I really want to hear some guitar or a pop track from like the year 2000. And then
Gotcha.
like if you've got that in your thing, you like drop them in. It's kind of interesting and cool. And to be perfectly honest, if this was available physically, I would have ordered it already.
I gotcha. It's only digital then, is it?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
It's still be, yeah, I think it's physical.
Yeah.
They're coming soon though.
Yeah, I mean, it was set for release around about November, and like that was when me and this guy at work sort of like were like, that'd be pretty cool because we both like DJ Hero as well. Because I remember I took it down his house when I first picked it up because I was down the shops one day when I had money to burn and it came out, and I was just like, what's this with the deck and everything? And I took it down his house, and he was like, "Yeah, mate, let's have a fucking laugh at this." And then, like about 10 minutes later, we're like, "This is fucking amazing!" Like, knocking back some bevies and stuff. Give us a go, mate.
I had DJ Hero as well. Oh, I enjoyed it. I wasn't very good though, but you know.
It was
Cool.
just the mixes and stuff, like how they actually, like things that shouldn't work just work so well together, like Gorillaz and Marvin Gaye.
Very
That,
cool.
that would kind of work actually, thinking about it.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. That's like one of
Yeah.
my favourites off of that, to be honest. But yeah, if you like your music rhythm games and everything, I think this one's pretty interesting.
I just wish they would
And
bring
there's
out
a demo
another
right now.
Guitar Hero or Rock Band, because it's been a long time since we've had one of those types.
Well, they did, didn't they? They
And
bought
no
one
one
out
bought
a
it.
couple of years ago, and no one bought it. So
Fair enough.
I think, yeah, there was this, obviously, as everyone knows, there was this big boom, like
Yeah.
back sort of like about 8 years ago, where like you had all these different plastic controllers and stuff, like drums, guitars, microphones, and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like Rock Band was like the one that took it the stratosphere, and
Well,
to be
well,
honest,
they're worth a lot of
it's
money
super
now.
popular. Yeah.
If you got one of those original Rock Bands or Guitar Heroes, you could sell them for a really good price because people are desperate for them at the moment. So
I've got a guitar. I've got a guitar in my bedroom still.
Oh, nice.
It's probably worth about £5, I reckon.
You never know.
I ended up getting, I think, 2 copies of DJ Hero, because it was, you know, sometimes when you go into a shop, it's like, I think they had DJ Hero 2, and it was like second hand, but pretty much as new, £5 with the controller.
That's fucking brilliant.
And I was like, I'm having that 2-player.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yes, everything.
Brilliant.
So it's just like, if you're there on the time, you can net yourself a steal. So yeah, hopefully this kind of revives the rhythm games to a certain degree. Obviously, it's not going to have the same sort of appeal that the ones did back in the day. But as long as they support it with plenty of sort of like different weird and wonderful songs. I mean, it is completely random, the stuff that they have out there. It's not all just dance music and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's like loads of weird things.
It sounds interesting
all the time
because
coming
I remember when we were talking about this, I think last week, Darren, and I had a look on Steam. It's £55.
Wow.
Yeah.
You pay for the licenses, aren't
yes,
you?
as I say, it's all licenses.
Is that the standard version, or is it like the one that comes with a load of extra tracks? Because there was like technically like a VIP edition
Let's have a look.
that comes with extra bits and bobs. Because obviously, as we all know as well, just going back to the Rock Band thing, they supported that for years. Like, hell, we used to moan about it all the time. Like, fucking Xbox store, every time I go on the add-ons, it's just Rock Band, Rock Band, Rock Band. Every time I go on there.
It's £55 for the normal version. The VIP version is £90.
Wow.
Yeah.
VIP, eh?
There we go.
So I think what it was is they probably knew that people wouldn't exactly be rampaging down to their local game store to pick up like a rhythm
rampaging
during COVID. So they obviously decided to either can it or hold back.
I think sure. I did check on Amazon. They've still got. I think you can still pre-order the physical version. It still hasn't got a release. I think it's due out this year at some point, but the digital's already out for some reason. I don't know. There's obviously a reason for it, but I haven't even bothered looking why. But
I mean, it might be one of those things where, depending on how well it does, will dictate whether or not they bother. Because if it underperforms, then they're going to be like,
oh, exactly, because you're cutting your losses then, because otherwise you've got all this physical stock just to get rid of. And they've probably been burnt a few times, especially with all those plastic guitars, and no one fucking buying them. They're probably going, right, we can't afford to have that anymore. So we might as well.
Was that, wasn't it? Because obviously we did get the massive oversaturation, didn't we? Because we had like Guitar Hero Van Halen, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, was it? They did the Rock Band Beatles, which was actually really good.
Yeah, that was good. I had a copy of that actually.
That was actually quite rare at one point, to be honest. I think that was
I've got
quite good money.
I didn't actually. I just got the standalone. Well, I picked a standalone second hand. I didn't actually. I just used a traditional guitar for it. But yeah, God, those games. I mean, they were fun. Don't get me wrong, and they were fun to have parties with. But you try and show that to a kid nowadays, they'll look at you funny.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it was I remember when it obviously first dropped, and everyone was like, "Oh, who's going to be what, which, what, and the other," and it was like, who wants to be vocals? It's like,
No one wants to be vocals.
nah. But
Yeah.
then neck of beers and vocals became the most fun thing.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember having like loads of my mates rolling around on the floor in stitches while I was singing. Is it Ballroom Blitz or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like really going for it, like to the point where like my mate's mum would be like, "Shut up!" like, banging on the ceiling and that.
Friends round. What was that like? I
Yeah.
forgot. Jesus.
Back in the olden days.
Back in the old days when you could mingle
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. Cool. Is that anything else you played, Darren?
No, not off the top of my head. No, not I can think of.
Cool. I've got quite a few games
No.
to burn through.
Oh, here we go.
All right, strap yourselves in. Okay. I've been playing some Hitman 3.
Oh.
Been really enjoying it. There's a... Just see. Yeah, so I've only done 2 missions now. And the second one is based in England, funnily enough, in a mansion. And fucking awesome, man. This game is so good. I mean, I never played Hitman 2. I think I remember playing Hitman 1 many, many years ago. But just kind of fell off the series. And since I picked up this one, I've got back into it. It's the way that you can assassinate your targets. It's just amazing, and there's lots of different ways you can do it, and the game doesn't handhold you really. So like on this second mission on Hitman 3, you're in the mansion, and it's like, right, these are your objectives if you want to do them. It's kind of like if you want to do, it's like a murder mystery thing that you can do. You can impersonate this detective and do and solve this murder mystery that's happened. So I did that actually, and it was a lot of fun, and it gets you very close to your target as well. So I really enjoyed that, and as I say, the thing I liked about it is there's no hand holding at all. It's like, right, you need to speak to these people, get clues from these rooms, and it's like there's no waypoints telling you, you know, where these rooms are. The only way that you can identify the people you need to talk to is, you know, in your intel there's photos of them, so you need to actually, you know, proper walk around and recognize the people from the photos, etc. So, you know, it's very slow paced, and it's just nice to play a video game that doesn't handhold you, you know. So yeah, really enjoying it. I'm not playing it, as I say, I've only done the first 2 missions, and the second mission, because I wanted to do the whole murder mystery thing, it took me about 3 hours or so just do that one mission. So
Wow.
yeah, you know, it can, because I have seen online that there's people doing, you know, quick run throughs of the missions and doing them in like 30 seconds or whatever. But if you want to play it properly and do the other stuff within those missions, it's well worth doing. So, because I know there was some chat on our Facebook group that there's only 6 levels within Hitman 3, and people saying, "Oh, that's not a lot." But if you take your time, you know, and you're doing like 2 to 3 hours a level, that's a pretty decent amount, to be quite honest. So that's all I want to say on Hitman 3. As I say, I've done the first 2 missions. I'm really liking it. There's got some twists in the main backstory that's going on as well. So it's well worth it in my opinion. I think it was actually the top selling game in the UK last week as well. So I think it's doing quite well, which is nice to see. So yeah, there's that. I played some Monster Hunter without you, Dan.
Oh, that's a shame. How far are you through?
I am, well, actually I'm up to where you are.
Yeah.
On the story,
Mm.
which is cool. But I also picked it up on the PC this week.
Oh,
so I'm double dipping now. Double dipping.
Dear me. Why did you do that?
Because it was only £12,
And
I wanted to check it out in prettier graphics. That was it.
That was a pathetic way of spending money.
Not really, because I'm gonna give it a proper good playing on the PC as well. I've actually got
Okay.
someone who wants to do some co-op with me who's going to pick it up
Oh,
as well. So,
well,
it's
that's
going
all
to be
right then.
quite nice. I've got friends on both systems to play it with now as well. So, and what's quite interesting about it is I know on the Series X it it looks and runs really well apparently.
Yeah, I saw a video of that. It
Yeah,
looks
That's what
great.
I was playing. That's what I was how I was playing it the other week when
yeah,
I was playing with
And
you
we
guys.
were literally playing it like it was looking for a lens of shit. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into it too much, but obviously I've got it on my PC now as well, and it's just like the difference is just enormous. It really, really is. Really smooth. The graphics are just like
Ray tracing.
there's no ray tracing. It's just like on the Xbox, it does look like a little bit like there's this weird blur to it. It's hard to describe really, like this weird fuzziness. Was on the PC, it's just very crystal clear. Yeah. It's like when you put a pair of glasses on, you know, it's like, oh, it's fun, suddenly all clear now. Yeah, so there's that. I'm loving it. I'm into it. You know,
You into it?
it's good
Nice.
times. Good
Well, I'm gonna
times.
ditch you anyway when Monster Hunter Rise comes out. So screw you.
Oh, you bastard!
Yeah.
I thought you might. That's not long
Well, we'll
till
see.
it's out now
Well,
as
we'll see how we
well.
go. It's not long, but I've got the Mario game on order.
Yeah.
Um, and then
When's
Monster Hunter
Ghouls and Ghosts out? Is that like in a
end of
couple of weeks?
end of February.
Oh, end of Feb.
Yeah, end of Feb. I've had a quick look at that. It's 25 quid that is download.
Nice.
Oh.
So I know.
Speaking of the end of February, we should be getting a demo, I believe, on all platforms for Outriders at the end of February.
Ooh, there you go.
That's nice. Right, so I've also been playing some Yakuza 7 this week. I'm just going to say I'm still loving it. There's been lots of amazing plot twists happen in this game now. It's
There's also Rule 34 Yakuza 7 stuff as well that I unfortunately found out about on, I think
rule.
it was on
What are you on
Twitter a
about?
couple of days ago.
What's that? What?
Rule 34, basically, if something exists, there's porn of it.
Oh,
It kind of ties into the patch, like the outfits and stuff that people are
right.
modding and stuff.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, I'm obviously playing it on the. I'm actually playing it on the Xbox.
Oh,
Getting some
are, you,
Chivos on it. I'm not playing it on PC.
are you holding up okay on the Xbox?
Oh, only just, mate. I mean, the load
Yeah,
times are awful. The graphics are
yeah.
not you know what I'm used to. But
Oh, well, I feel sorry for you.
I'm loving it, mate.
Persevere.
I'm loving the game. I'm absolutely loving it. What's going on here? I don't understand what's going on. I need to back up on the videos. Spoilers. Yeah, I'm really loving it. I'm loving the story. I'm loving the uh, city it's based in, and I've been spending so much time playing the side missions and Dragon Kart, which I mentioned before. But I've gotten quite far in the main story, and I'm on chapter 10. I think there's like 18 chapters, so I've still got a while to go, and I've already done like 35 hours or so. So it's good. It's a long old game, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the turn-based combat. So that's all I want to say on that for this week. I have been playing a little bit of a game that is a PC exclusive called Hell Let Loose. Now, I've mentioned this ages ago, but it's had some
I've
significant
heard of it.
it's had some significant updates recently to make it run a lot more smooth, because basically it's Battlefield on steroids. So you think it's all set in World War II. All of the locations are real world locations in Europe from World War II, and they've all been mapped, you know, using satellite imagery, well, not satellite, you know, like the pictures of the time. I took in a spy planes, you know, it's all the imagery of the time
Speaking of
to
which,
recreate those levels. Yep, go on, mate.
it's sorry to butt in with a stupid little historical fact. I was only aware, you know, you sometimes stumble across random videos on YouTube when you end
Hmm.
up falling down the rabbit hole of like top 10 fucking so and so's
Yeah,
bored.
yeah.
And one of the videos come across, it was like top 10 parts of the world you're not allowed to visit.
Oh,
And one of them is actually like this huge battlefield from World War II in France.
Oh, I know about
Oh.
this. I've heard about
And
this.
it's completely like fucking like covered in mines and God
Yeah.
knows what. And they said it's going to take like 150 years to get all of the munitions and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Just
insane.
get
I've
around,
read
and
about
that's
this.
even if they do fucking get rid of it, manage to get rid of it all.
That's
So
There's
pretty
just
nuts.
so much fucking ammunition and like vehicles and stuff fucking
Yeah.
like in the earth and that.
That's
Like
insane.
I read about it online. Sometimes I would Google of it. I can't remember where it is. Northern France, but yeah.
It's not Verdun, is it?
Oh, God knows, mate. It doesn't ring a bell. But then,
I know that was one of the big battlefields, wasn't it? In
yeah,
the war.
it's
But
like
yeah,
a time capsule almost. They got
Wow,
deserted.
yeah, they
that's
moved
insane.
everyone out.
Yeah.
They moved all of the people out of the area, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just like got them all to move somewhere else. Completely
Wow.
walled it all off.
That's insane. Yeah, so the thing
yeah,
about
sorry.
this, that's fine. So the thing about this that I really, really like is it's like a 100-player map, 50 aside, and the maps are huge, and it's very much so each team starts at one end of the map, and you got to like capture the points along the way, and then it's like, and then you're fighting for the points, and then like the winner is like whoever has the most by the time the timer runs out, or whoever captures all the points, and you've moved the battlefield up to the enemy base, if that makes sense, right? And
Sort of.
That's the mode from Battlefield, isn't it?
yeah,
Conquest,
so
is it?
yeah, pretty much very, very similar. But what's really cool about this is you're set into 6-man squads, and you have a squad leader for each squad. So you've got your infantry squads, and you've got your vehicle squads as well. So that they can drive your tank squads, which are 3-man squads. So you have your 6-man squads. But it's really cool. So the squad leader on each squad has a separate voice chat for just all the other squad leaders. So the squad leaders can have a voice chat and talk tactics, and then you press your other button on your keyboard for the voice chat to go to your squad, so you can relay, say, oh yeah, we're going to go and capture this objective over there, blah 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 blah, and it works really, really well because it encourages voice chat and it encourages teamwork. Yeah, so on each squad you can choose between your normal infantry guy, your medics, and all the other stuff, snipers and all that. So you kind of like, right, you've got a good mixture on each squad, and then if you get shot and you get downed, a medic can come and heal you or whatever. So that's what I really, really like about it. And also the map is really, really good. It's really detailed, and you can, like, if you're the squad leader, you can be like, right, you can set a waypoint, to tell where your squad where to go. And the squad leader can also set down respawn one respawn point at a time. So if squad leader lays a respawn point down, the one he had before disappears. So you can kind of have a good tactic for putting your respawn points down if you die, so you haven't got as far to go to the objective. But if the enemy team see that respawn point, they can obviously destroy it. Graphically, it's beautiful, and it can be very slow paced at times, because when you're playing it properly and you're doing the tactics, it's like people aren't running around like maniacs like you'll see in COD and Battlefield. It's very much like you're.
Did people do that in reality though?
No,
no one's just gonna be like, throw yourselves into the bullets, boys. Like,
yeah, that's it. So it's very people are like, right, we're going to go and flank this territory and these enemies. If you can figure out where the enemies are, and it's like, right, so you're like kind of like crouching along or crawling along, and everyone's chatting and talking orders. It's all very serious, by the way. People in the voice chat is quite funny. And it's just a lot of fun. I'm really liking it.
Do you ever get people taking it a bit seriously? Who's
yes,
the guy on YouTube? Is it Stone Mountain or something, where you'd be having a chat where you'd be like, oh yeah, I was watching this program. Dave's down! Dave's down! Like, medic!
Yeah, so you'll find. So I was in a server last night. Played for about an hour last night, and I was in this squad. I was actually the squad leader. Actually, it was quite funny, and people were like, "Squad leader, give us the orders." And I was like, "I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing." But I was figuring it out along the way. But in the squad leader voice chat. Oh my god, they were all like, I think they all thought they were in a real war because they were like so serious and we're like, right, we all doing this, all this, and we're doing that. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my god, you know, really, really funny. But yeah, it was really, really enjoyable. It's I don't think it's super popular on Steam, but every time I've gone on it, all the servers have been really, really full. So
You're gonna have a dedicated
yeah,
fan
there is a
base, aren't you?
dedicated fan base on it
Like
because it's
Armour.
yeah. So it's like in Battlefield, I think, where you can rent servers. So you've got all these clans that rent servers and all that, and there's always the popular ones. But yeah, I'm enjoying it because I love my World War II stuff, and it's just nice to have a really good shooter to play. Yeah. So
Cool. How much is it on PC?
I think I paid like 15 quid for it. I've had it for
Oh, so
ages.
it's
I've had it for over
reasonable.
a year. Yeah, it's always on sale on CD keys. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk about something else before I bore you all to death. I'm
Mm.
going to save the best for last. I've been doing some Chivo Horin this week, so I'm going to give you. Probably Peeves is listening, so he's going to know what games I've been playing now, isn't he? So,
He's got his pen and paper out right now.
Yeah. So there's a game on the Game Pass called The Gardens Between. Really easy game to score. But it's actually a really good game. It's not very long. I banged it out in just a few hours. And it's all so you play as this boy and girl, and they get sucked into this like puzzle world. And it's all based on time. So you move them forwards, move them backwards, and some of the scenery moves around at different times as well. So it's all about puzzle solving. Like you have to get this like glowing orb to the end of the level, and there's a lot of obstacles along the way. So it's kind of going forwards, going backwards, kind of figuring out how you're going to get this glowing orb thing to the end of the level. And towards the end of the game, some of the puzzles got really, really difficult. I had to use a YouTube
guide
for some of-
standard.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a natural life of the game's a few hours. You did it in half that time because you cheated.
Yeah, we had to for the Chivos, mate, because there's a lot of hidden
Yeah.
Chivos as well. So had to
Right,
do
so-
that as well to just. I couldn't have Peeps beating me this month. Come on, I had to
You
annoy him.
don't play games. You just sit there and just watch YouTube videos and copy stuff.
Well, not really. I don't. Not often.
The pair of you should be ashamed.
But
What?
this game is it.
Sorry.
No, it's,
No, you're talking about Beebs as well.
yeah.
That's
But it's on
Not-
Game Pass, so it's
Yeah.
it's part of the sub. And I know most people listening have got a Game Pass sub. Play it; it's really, really good. It's something different, and it's a lot of fun. It is. I love it. I love a good puzzle game, but there's always the option when it gets a little bit too hard to go onto YouTube. Good old YouTube, save the day. Yeah, it's a good game. All right, shall I move on?
Yeah, next.
I for the Chivos as well. I played What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah. Never
Uh,
played this.
game.
Any good?
It's really good. So that's
Yeah.
actually the second time I've played it. So the
Okay.
first time I played it, I was on the PC a long, long time ago. And I thought, well, it's now on Game Pass, so I want some Chivos. So I might as well get some Chivos. So it's basically telling the story of this girl called Edith Finch, funnily enough, going back to her childhood home. It's a bit of a weird house. And it's just going through her family's history and some of the weird stuff that happens along the way. Like you get some really weird, you get some stories along the way, so it transports you into those stories, and you play through them. But it's done in a really good way. It really, really is, because every story is about a different character, and it's all completely different, and you
It
just
all
get
plays
immersed in
different
it.
as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Each story plays differently, like
Yeah.
different style and
Yeah, and at least one of the stories is very emotional, very, very sad, especially if you're a parent. But
the whole game's pretty depressing.
it is depressing, but
really.
it's very.
But
it
it
is
is a great
yeah.
game.
It is. I mean, Byron just put it in there. He says it's one of the greatest games of all time. It is. it's one of those games that you need to play it you need to experience it, once in your lifetime. It's not very long. It's only a few hours long, so it's it's not going to take up much of your time, but just that whole experience, just from start to finish, is just wow. It really, really is. It's a great experience.
Have they actually done anything since this? Because I know that they did the Unfinished Swan, because there's an Easter egg for that in the game.
I'm not sure.
And then they did that, and it was a big hit as well. I think it did really well for them, but I can't think if they've done anything since then. Personally,
I don't know,
because I know the guys that made the other one that I really liked, Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Yeah.
They're currently working on a game called Witchfire, which is a first-person shooter. Which looked really good when we first saw clips of it a good 2 years ago now. It must be where they demoed it off. So I'm hoping we keep seeing. Well, we'll see more of that at some point.
Yeah, that'd be good. So I just wanted to mention this. What Remains of Edith Finch, because it is astounding. I would go say it is a masterpiece of gaming. It's a work of art. I would say that. Give it a go.
I think it was in all of our game. Everyone who played it, I think it was in all of our Game of the Years that year.
Yeah, so it's been out a few years now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I'd say now it's on Game Pass, there's not really an excuse not to give it a go.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Good man, Dan. Good.
What are the Chivos like then?
It was the last digital game I purchased.
I 1000G'd it, mate.
1000G'd it, yeah. How long did it take you? 20 minutes, mate. 1000G.
No, it's a good few hours.
Okay.
A good few hours. So I played one more game to try and Chivo Hall, which is a game called Eastshade. And I was thinking, this game's going to be quite good because it's about this artist who goes on this island, and you got to go and just walk around and do some paintings. But I quickly realised this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I played it for about an hour or so, and I just turned it off. So basically, it's an island of monkeys.
Sounds great. I'm in.
And you just kind of wander around and help them do their weird tasks and that. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I mean, it's very beautiful.
Pick lice off each other.
It's like I had this story where this monkey had a barrel stuck on his head, so I had to go and find someone to go and help us get the barrel off their head. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't, and there was this other character I met who wanted a painting of this thing, so I had to go and run around finding components to fucking build a canvas before I could do his painting. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, so I mean, that's just my initial impressions. I think if I persevered with it, I'd probably actually enjoy it because it's a very relaxing game, and as I say, it's very beautiful. So I'm going to give it more of a Bosch at some point in the future, but or if anyone else has played it, let me know what your thoughts are. But my initial impressions are meh. Okay.
Fair.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Yep. And the last game I have been playing is The Medium.
Oh yeah.
So this is on Xbox Game Pass. It's for Series X only, or Series S and Series X only. So it's next gen consoles only. And PC. I am enjoying it. It's it's like like the old Resident Evil games like that has those fixed camera angles as you're walking down corridors and around the environment. So it's very much like that. It's a fixed camera angle. So it takes a bit of getting used to at the beginning because you're moving your right thumbstick trying to move the camera around and it's just not happening. So. And that's the first thing you need to get used to. I've played it for about 2 or 3 hours, and the story's only just kind of starting to really kick in. It's kind of a slow burn, and so basically you're this girl who's not really in. She's got like a spirit version of herself in the spirit world, And what's quite cool about it is at certain times of the game, it goes into a split screen. Now, this is one of the reasons why they were touting it can't be run on last gen consoles. Anyway, so when it's on the split screen, it's got, you know, the real world version of what's happening and the spirit version of your character in the spirit world. So it's running pretty much kind of like two game environments at the same time. So that is quite resource heavy. Yeah. So I'm playing on PC and it looks nice, it runs nice, you know, but you want to know about the story. The story so far it's hard. I'm not going to say any spoilers. I'm really starting to dig it now. When I started, like the first hour or so, I was just like, oh, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on. You're this woman in this apartment and someone's died and blah, blah, blah. And then something happens. And it's kind of set in this old hotel. Like, so this is where I'm in. There's this old hotel place, and I'm in there, and you meet some ghosts that they're trying to help out, and there's some puzzles to solve. So there hasn't been any combat in the game at all. I don't actually know if there is any combat because I've not watched any reviews or anything of the game. The only thing I have watched is the Digital Foundry tech review of the Xbox version. That's it, and that didn't show any combat. So it seems to me it's more of a puzzle type game with some jump scares. There's some jump scares in this, and there there was a section where you're in the spirit world. I mean, it looks all fucked up in that spirit world. Let's see if I can find it on the video. Probably, yeah. So there. So you can see in the video, for those of you that are watching, you can see where it's split screen. Anyway, so you're in the spirit world because there are sections where it's split screen, there's sections where you're in the real world, and sections where you're just purely in the spirit world. And yeah, so there's a section in the spirit world only where there's this fucking horrible monster chasing you. And I was shitting myself because I'm not very good with horror games, to be quite honest with you. And after that section was over, I saw the little saving icon. I turned the fucking game off and didn't play it until the next day. I was like, "Oh my god, those shit me!" I hate chase scenes. Like, there's something about them where they just get my heart pumping. I'm like, no, don't get that fucking to get me. Yeah, but what's really cool because initially when I saw the reviews and I saw the split screen version, I thought, oh, I don't really know what to think about that. But it's actually really well done because a lot of the puzzles they revolve around what you can see in the real world versus what you can see in the spirit world, and you got to do certain things in one world to progress yourselves along, if that makes sense. And there's certain parts of the spirit world where you can hold down the B button and you have an outer body experience where you're just the spirit, but you have a certain amount of time you can just control the spirit. She just kind of fades away slowly, so you need to do that section of the puzzle quite quick before she fades away, which is quite cool. But yeah, it's the story so far now. It does pick up. So if you're like me and you think, oh god, this is a bit of a whatever, persevere with it. It does pick up. It gets really, really interesting, and you want to know what happens next. The puzzles are very, very good. A bit like the old the original Resident Evils as well, which is quite cool. And performance wise, it performs really well. It looks really, really nice. Yeah, so you know, I'm really, really pleased with it, to be honest. I know there's it's quite a demanding game. It's doesn't run so well on PC if you don't have really good hardware. And I know on the Digital Foundry review they were mentioning a few hiccups with the Series X version as well. So you know, that's why it hasn't come out on the current or the old gen console. So this is the first next gen game for the Series X, the first next gen exclusive. And what's
It's
quite
still
strange,
being made by a really small development
it's made
team,
by a
though.
really
It's
small
not
developer. But what I find strange about it, and I know there's a question about this later on, it's I thought Phil Spencer said that there's going to be no Series X exclusives for at least a couple of years, and we're a few months into the next gen, and they've already gone back on that,
Yeah.
which I find.
Well,
a
this
bit
is going along
odd.
the same lines to a degree with, like, I don't think Spider-Man Miles Morales was supposed to be on PS4, and neither was Horizon. I think they've made that as a choice because of, like, stocks and supplies and all of the pandemic stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Because I don't
yeah,
think the medium is probably one of those games where once they obviously knew what they were doing with it and having this split screen, basically technically running two games side by side alongside
yeah,
each other, they realised it's not going to work very well
yeah,
on a
yeah,
crap hard drive. Basically, it's not necessarily down to the system; it's down to the
mm.
hard drive speed.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and that's all of it. But what I also found quite interesting, and it did start a little bit of a flame war in the Facebook group, was the Digital Foundry reviewer was saying, like, when it goes into split screen, they were a little bit disappointed that the resolution drops down to 900p on the Series X, whereas, you know, they've advertised the Series X as 4K 120 FPS, and you know, they can't even get this game to run at bloody 1080p, for fuck's
It's
sake.
like it's just
Yeah,
developer.
yeah,
It'll
yeah,
be sorted out. Like, and I think it was pushed back as well. I forget. So
yeah,
it
yeah,
was originally supposed to have released around the end of last year. So
yeah,
it obviously just still needed a little bit more time
yeah,
and possibly
yeah,
still needs a few tweaks,
yeah. Yeah,
terms
I
here and
imagine
there.
so. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, you can look past those issues, if you want to call them issues anyway. You know, my experience of it, I wouldn't give a shit if I was playing it on Xbox at all. I'm enjoying the game for what it is, to be quite honest with you. And I think anyone who's got a Series S or Series X, and has Game Pass, especially, should definitely check it out. It's something different. You know, we haven't had a horror-ish game like this in a long time. You know, it's that fixed camera angles. There's not really any, well, there isn't any combat, as I said, and there's a lot of puzzles. You know, it's spooky, and you know, it's a lot of it. It's different with that split screen stuff, the two worlds at the same time. There's something I've never seen before. You know, in action at exactly the same time. I think it's really good to see something different for a change. You know, something new. Some risks have been taken. You know, it's not to see a game that has, you know, where stuff just hasn't been regurgitated. So big props to the, I think it's Blooper team that made this in Poland,
Yeah,
for
that's it.
making
Yeah.
this. I've heard though that Tencent are looking at buying out this company. I'm pretty sure I've seen that, so that'd be quite
Well,
interesting.
they won't really be able to buy it out if they're owned by Microsoft, or are they just developing under Microsoft?
No,
They're not actually a.
I don't think Microsoft own this company. They just had a deal or something. That's what
Well,
I'm
Tencent
speculating
is
anyway.
sticking their dirty little penis inside everything these days,
Oh,
aren't
I
they?
know.
A dirty little
Yeah.
penis and everything. Oh my good God. What a sight. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer basically getting his dirty little penis into everything.
No, it was on about
Oh,
10 cent.
Tencent, whoever that is. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that a.
it's a Chinese
It's a Chinese, yeah.
company that
Yeah.
own vast amounts of like a lot of companies,
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
even though I think they're one of these sort of tech people that, even though something's being made somewhere else that they can't actually have in their own country because of their censorship laws, which are
Yeah.
really strict over there,
Yeah.
they still want to be making money off it.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't
And
surprise
they
me.
can do that obviously by investing in all these foreign companies, but they own like majority shares in quite a few Japanese developers. They own like quite a few shares in an abundance of Western developers and stuff as well. They own a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I think it's
anyway,
even a
yeah.
Chinese company. Some Chinese group owns Shepherd Neame, don't they?
Mm.
Yeah, that was
I
the
believe.
the brewery in Kent and in Faversham where we grew up. Oh, I love a bishop's finger.
Kids back in the day didn't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
So anyway, back to the game. It's really good, and again, it's showing that Game Pass is providing very good value for money. with this, with the games that are coming out. But one thing I will say though is these Xbox exclusives, you know, they still need to up their game if they want to compete with PlayStation exclusives, because you look at the difference in quality. You know, I think the medium. I mean, I'm not sure what review. I'm gonna have a look in a minute while I'm talking. I think it's got like 7s out of 10s or whatever. So it's about average or whatever, I imagine. But you know, you compare that to the Sony exclusives, and they're usually, you know, very high review scores. Yeah, the medium's got a 71 on Metacritic. Yeah, so you know, Microsoft, I'm hoping they up their game a little bit with their exclusives in the coming years to give Sony a little bit more competition. To be honest,
I've been hoping for that for years.
yeah,
To be
but
honest,
it's just like
they do the job with, like, the Horizon games are fine, I guess. That's probably one of the only ones I'm sort of kind of interested in still. And ones here and there, but like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, obviously, a lot of the PlayStation stuff, like your Horizons, your God of Wars, even like Days Gone to a certain degree, they just have a polish about them.
Yeah, that's it.
As sort of like, you can tell someone's spent a lot of time like working and getting this to run as best as it can on the set hardware and stuff, which is why generally pretty much every first person game they put out generally usually impressive.
Yeah, 100%. They do, but you know, you look at all these studios that Microsoft have brought up over the last couple of years, and they haven't actually pushed any of those games out yet. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
We should
Hellblade
expect
2
some good
will be
things.
Hellblade 2 will be big, I believe.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, I
And
wasn't a really
obviously
big
you got
fan of the
Halo
first one,
Infinite.
but yeah.
Yeah, Halo Infinite as well, which will be out obviously later this year as well, and then you'll probably have another Gears announcement.
Yeah, they'll keep
as
milking
well.
that the cash cow. Yeah.
But yeah, this is why they've obviously been buying up various other studios, because they know that there are people out there that are like, oh, Gears of War, Halo, Forza. It's just the same old, and this is why they've obviously gone out and purchased studios like Bethesda. And I saw something the other day that obviously Microsoft as a whole corporation have already made back twice the amount of money that they spent on Bethesda.
Nuts. That's absolutely nuts, isn't it?
It's because they got their fingers in multiple different pies. It's not just the gaming sphere. It's obviously PC and various other tech things as well. So
100%.
Which is why Sony have to be careful to try and keep their gaming shit going, because it's basically their biggest moneymaker.
Well, I think Sony are a big customer of Microsoft now as well, using the Azure platform for some of their games, which is quite interesting. So,
isn't that just for the PS Now stuff?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I'd guess. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, that's what I played. Should we get into some questions?
Do it.
Cool. Right. Let me just see if there's been anything on Twitter. Craig Wilson says, do you miss the days when games came out and they just worked, not our updates after updates?
Yes.
You don't even need to ask me that question. Fucking modern gaming is a nightmare compared to what gaming used to be.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, I transferred all, when I got my external hard drive, I've spent it must have been about 2 to 3 days downloading patches and updates and installing shit. It was ridiculous.
It reminds you of the days when you had an Amstrad, you put it in the tape and you're waiting like 20 minutes for the game to load.
Yeah.
That's what we've gone back to.
Not necessarily quite back then, but yeah.
That's what it feels like. You put in a game.
There's many a times in this world of technology where I just sit there and I'm like, do you remember when things used to work? I do.
Back in the day. The good old days. We're old bastards now. Okay, next question from Paul Clark. He says, is it best to live in a bungalow that doesn't have stairs?
For you, yeah.
Probably.
For you, yeah. I'd say so.
Oh, you Bastard. Right, next, Paul Johnson. Has anyone seen the new movie trailer for Free Guy? It's about a guy who discovers he's actually an NPC in a video game.
Yes,
I've
I've
never
seen
heard
this.
of
It was,
this.
it was supposed to be out before.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was supposed to be out before Christmas, and then obviously everything was closed for God knows how long, so it's been delayed to later this year. So yeah, he's an NPC in a online game.
Yeah. Oh, have I lost you there, Dan? Dan, we've lost you.
Shooting people, being
Oh.
six, and he's an NPC going about his day to day, and then he becomes self-aware.
Oh, right.
So
Awesome.
that's the sale. That's the spin. It's quite good fun.
Yeah, it looks quite funny actually. Cool. Right. Okay. Next, Tom Harding. So the Medium states on the store that it's compatible with Series X and S only. What happened to nothing exclusive to next gen for a year? That disappeared quickly, and I was looking forward to playing that one. I think we kind of went over that really, and I know how you feel, to be honest, because I'd be a little bit gutted to not be able to play this, especially like since you can't even buy a Series X even if you want to at the moment. They're just they're just so hard to get hold of, like PlayStation. So you're gonna have to be patient, mate, or just build a PC. Simples.
Yeah, I mean it's also, I think a lot of people are a bit pissed in the fact that it's like one of the first sort of like Microsoft sort of exclusives since the new system launched. And it's
Yeah.
obviously only available to people that have got the newer system.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the same thing, I suppose, can be said about Demon Souls, I guess. But
yeah, there we go. Yep, it's annoying, but what can you do? And Paul Clark's mentioned about the GoldenEye video, which I showed at the beginning anyway in the news. Is there anything on Twitter? Oh, we've lost Dan. Warning,
he'll
we
be
have
back.
lost Dan. Yeah. Wes asks on the Discord group, what game are you most looking forward to in 2021? What's coming out this year? Anyone? Darren, do you
I
know
don't
what's
know.
actually coming
Well,
out this year?
Obviously Resi, but again, due to last week, I'm looking forward to it, but I don't want to buy it if it's got that shite on it that I don't want to have to install and that. Apart from that, Outriders is due out in April. I'm hoping it's good.
Yeah.
And then I think this year we're going to see either Horizon or God of War, to be honest. God of War, I'm now getting more and more and more thinking we're not going to see that.
Yeah.
Because we've seen nothing of it bar literally a title screen, basically. No models, no nothing. We don't know anything about the story. They haven't even had an announced thing bar, like I said, just having the logo come up and saying like people saying it's coming.
Yeah.
And I can honestly see that coming after Horizon anyway. And Horizon still hasn't technically got a date, but they are going to need obviously a big game or two this year to obviously keep the momentum going for the new systems. Because obviously if they don't keep the momentum going for these new systems, the more and more people are going to be like, well, what's the point in picking one up then? Because there isn't really anything out for them at the moment.
Yeah.
The same like that with any sort of new system. But thanks to obviously the pandemic and world events all over the place, you can't really guarantee anything at the moment until you sort of go back to normal.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to Back for Blood. That's something that I think is
Oh
gonna
yes.
hopefully bring some of the community back together. I'm hoping. I mean, I'm hoping that comes to consoles as well at some point. I think that's just started for PC.
It's coming out on everything.
Is it full crossplay at launch as well?
It's everything. I don't know if it's crossplay, but I know it's coming out on everything, I believe.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. Resident Evil, I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to playing MLB The Show this year on my PC. I don't have to turn on my PlayStation. I've been thinking about just selling my PlayStation 4, to be honest. I'll be out in April. Byron's put MLB The Show, Monster Hunter Switch, a new Black Reach for ESO. No idea what that is. Hey, and Halo Infinite. What the hell's going on with your microphone?
That's
Oh,
Back
is
in
that
the
Dan?
room.
feedback.
Oh, hello, Dan.
That's
Hello,
right. So for some reason, Discord did a hissy fit on me and kicked me out, and then I had to reboot my phone, and I'm in now.
I think
Hello.
Oh,
it just
okay.
chooses someone each time you record, and like someone
Yeah.
gets a bad one.
Yeah.
'Cause it's usually me.
Oh well. So
Yep.
where were we?
So we're
Carry
just
on.
talking about the games we're looking forward to in 2021. So I've pretty much gone through the few that I know that are coming out. I'm looking forward to. So's Darren.
I don't know really. See what happens. I don't really know. I mean, if you asked me this time last year, I didn't really have an answer for you. So I'm just gonna see what comes out and see what takes me fancy. I think that's probably best. There's no. I mean, yeah, you can look forward to stuff, I suppose, but if you get too excited, you'll only be disappointed. So I choose not to be like that. It's kind of a lesson you learn you get older.
Well, I'm waiting to see when there's a new bloody Final Fantasy 14 expansion to buy. Come on, Darren, give me the info.
Well, if you're not doing anything on, is it Saturday morning
Okay.
at 1:30 a.m. UK time?
I think I'll
That's
be
when they're
asleep, mate.
having. That's when they're having the big showcase for the new expansion, I believe.
Okay, cool.
So it's literally by the time we record, I will have info of something Final Fantasy related, whether it's anything to do with the 7 remake or the Final Fantasy 16 or the expansion for 14.
Nice. Cool. That is all the questions, guys.
Oh, good God, done.
So that is the end of the show. 2 hours this week.
Yes, well, that's what you get for paying.
2 hours for our 19 patrons. Lucky you.
Yay!
And all the freeloaders in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, and we'll listen to this later on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
We know who you are.
Yeah, we know who you are. Cool. So that's the end of the show. Thank you for coming on, Darren and Dan.
Hello, sorry, I just dropped. So I just dropped out for a second. This fucking Discord shit, isn't it?
That's right. I'm just saying bye to everyone.
Oh, bye.
Just as much issues with Skype back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Skype. It really is awful, isn't it?
I think it's Skype dead now because I think Teams has taken over.
Teams has taken over.
I Skype my brother quite a lot.
Okay.
Keeps you in habit. Teams is good though. I do like Teams.
Anyway, we're diverging into work stuff. So anyway, thank you very much. A big thank you to all the patrons for continuing to support the show. For those of you who are listening who are freeloading, please think about subscribing to the Patreon. £5 a month.
Think about it and then go, nah.
Yeah, you bastards. You get a show every week, straight to your podcast feed, so you can listen on the go anywhere you like. So that's about it. Find us on Twitter at 360gamercast. Join the Discord group. The link is in the show notes. That's it. So for me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Piss and D, Stimody, Webby, 360G.
Thank you much. See you Dan. Bye.
Sensei Switch.
So thank you very much. We will see you
Switch.
next week. Goodbye.
Cool. Nice one.
Cool. Nice one. Bye-bye.